Hi friends, good morning to everyone. In the last session, we have discussed the structure of a top-down C++ program. We have introduced the output statement as CO. In C++, what is a header file to be used? What is a header file to be used in C++?
iostream.h.
Stream.h. iostream.h header file involves which of the object-oriented programming concept? Which object-oriented programming concept is applied in the design of iostream.h header file? I have said in the last class, to support the input operations, the complete special functions are defined in a header file called istream.h. To support the complete output functionalities, the special functions are defined in a header file called ostream.h. To support both input and output operations, the entire functions, special functions are defined in a header file iostream.h, which applies the inheritance of iStream and OStream classes. So iStream class and OStream class are combined into a new class called iOStream class, and the header file is designed in such a way that extracting the features from more than one base classes. So multiple inheritance concept is applied. Okay, in the last class we have discussed right the usage of C out statement. C out, right? What is C out? Can you recall? C out is what is C out in C++? Anyone, please?
Sir, it is used to return output statement.
Very good. It is used to return or write something right in the output statement. But my question is right, what is C out? Try to learn the concepts right in a depth way. Cout is an and the last class right I said Cout is an object of output stream class. The output stream class is OStream. Cout is an object of output stream class, right? Stream is right basically right the interface which can be used to right connect with the standard output device or the standard input device. Basically, there are two kinds of streams. One is a standard input stream, and another one is a standard output stream. Or input stream and output stream. Output stream is connected with the console. Input stream is connected with the input devices such as a keyboard. So Cout is an object of OStream, output stream class, and a less than. What is the name given to this operator? What is the name given to this operator? Less than. What can we call this operator?
Left to shift the bitwise.
Bitwise left shift operator. Okay. That's also a polymorphic operator. Here, Cout object is introduced. After object, right? If we introduce listen, this is insertion operator because we like to insert something, variables, values, or string messages, right, to the standard output device screen. So here listen, this is nothing but insertion operator or put to operator. Then the string message is given, right? Or you can give the variable, or you can combine, right, both variables and string messages. right? So we have seen the different ways of writing a cout statement to define or to print the output in a neat way. Next, we are going to see the standard right input stream. The input stream is right the keyboard. The associated object is cin object. Cin, this is the object of input stream class. The input stream class is right iStream. Cin, right, which is used to extract the input from the standard input device. That's what the operator, right, greater than, this is said to be the input operator or extraction or simply get from operator. It gets something from the standard input device. That's what this is said to be the input or extraction or get from operator. So the simplest level of syntax to use the cin object is cin greater than specify the variable name. This is the simplest way of using the cin object. Since this is the executable statement, the statement ends with a semicolon. In case if you want to get right multiple variables, this is also possible by cascading the cin statement. Cin greater than variable 1. For example, cin greater than variable 1, greater than variable 2, greater than variable 3, greater than variable 4, greater than variable 5, semicolon. Of course, this is equivalent to right 5 cin statements. So how to write cin greater than v1, cin greater than v2, cin greater than v3, cin greater than v4, cin greater than v5. So these two versions are clearly equivalent. This is the first version. This is the way of getting the input variables, right? Value to the variables one at a time using the separate cin statements. So we have discussed right what is cin. Cin is an object of input stream. Corresponding class is iStream class. The required operator to get input from the keyboard is greater than. That is said to be the extraction or get from operator. Syntax is cin greater than variable name. We can also specify multiple variables in a single cin statement. The inputs are separated by spaces, right? Or tabs or multi-line inputs, right? Which are used to separate the inputs to the corresponding variables. Now let us illustrate the use of right cin cout statements with a program. First, conversion from Celsius into Fahrenheit and vice versa. Now we are going to write a C++ program similar to that of a C program that's using the top-down structured programming approach. So first what we have to do, include the header file, hash include, header file is IO stream.h, otherwise include two statements, hash include preprocessor directives, hash include istream.h, then hash include ostream.h. Better we write include a single header file just one time, hash include iostream.h. Then int main, what is a part of main? We need to declare variables and define the executable statements, print the results. These are the major parts inside the main function. In the last class, I have said you write the variable declaration. As far as variable declaration is concerned, C++ is better than the language C. Can you recall that? In what way C++ is better than C with respect to variable declarations? Yes, tell me. In C++, we can declare the variables dynamically wherever we require. Where in a C language, we need to declare all the variables at the beginning of a main function section. So remember that here, right, we do like to write convert from Celsius into Fahrenheit. So declaring, right, the variables, for example, float Celsius. We can declare, right, a float Fahrenheit, or in a single line we can declare here float Fahrenheit. Far, right, it's a far pointer, right, it's a keyword. So I use the variable name is Fahrenheit, float Fahrenheit. Now the input is Celsius. This will be converted into Fahrenheit. So before giving the input, right, give a reasonable output message, Cout, enter the value of Celsius. Listen, I try to use ENDL so that the next output will be obtained in a new line. After Cout, use a variable or use the object Cin, then extraction get from operator, use a variable name is Celsius. So input is obtained, then compute the parent heat. Parent heat F is equal to 1.8 star Celsius, 1.8 star Celsius plus 32.0. Now you can print the value of Fahrenheit. Cout listen. C is equal to listen. C listen. One space listen. Fahrenheit is equal to listen. Celsius, right? Stored in a variable Celsius. Okay. Then Fahrenheit stored in a variable Fahrenheit. So the conversion from Celsius, right, into the Fahrenheit, right, using the formula F is equal to 1.8 C plus 32. This is obtained. Then in case, right, if you want to revert, right, from Fahrenheit into Celsius, right, we can write Cout, enter the value of Fahrenheit. Listen, ENDL. Sends it as semicolon. C in greater than Fahrenheit is given as the input. Let us convert this into Celsius. So Celsius is equal to 5.0 by 9.0 into Fahrenheit minus 32.0. Then print a value Cout less than F is equal to less than Fahrenheit value less than one space less than Celsius is equal to less than Celsius, then A and L. This is the end of the program. Finally, because of into main, we need to return some integer value to the calling place. So let us return a value, say return 0. This is the program. First, we need to declare the variables, or wherever you can you want, right? We can declare the variable dynamically. Inputs are obtained through a cin statement. This is a computational or assignment statement, and this is the output statement. We like to print the result in the required format. Likewise, C into F, F into C. Conversions are carried out, and we have printed the results. Finally, return 0, returns a value 0, right, to this return type integer 1. Next step, save the file. For example, C x3. I am pressing F9, checking for the compilation errors. It seems no compilation errors are reported. Clicking OK. Press F9, Control F9. One minute. File open. CEXX3. Let me close all the previous files. Okay. File open. Example 3. File. Pressing F9. Compilation okay. Control F9. Enter the value of Celsius. Say Celsius is 25. Fahrenheit is 77. Now enter the value of Fahrenheit. Say 77. In rewards, right? The Celsius is obtained as 25. Understand or not? Say yes or no. Having any queries? Understand this program? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see in the next program. File a new. Let us find the average of n numbers. So to find the average of n numbers, we are going to assuming that the normal rate top down C++ program is going to be returned. So include the header file hash include iostream.h, then int main, let us define the array, suppose int x of 50. Int x of 50, this is a one-dimensional array which consists of 50 elements, right? Same concept as we studied in a C language. Starting index is assumed, right, to be 0, right? The last index is 49, right? Conventionally 0 to 49, totally 50 indices are going to be accessible. And let us define the variable n to indicate the number of inputs to be processed. Then I use one variable sum to find the sum. Sum can also be initialized to 0. Sum is equal to 0. Now, first we need to enter the value of n. Cout, enter the value of n. How to get a value of n? Use a cin statement. Cin greater than n. The value of n is subtract. Next, we need to enter right n values. So normally we write here cout enter space listen n space values. String is closed, right? Values, then listen endl. Enter n value. Suppose if you input n is equal to 10, it prompts during the runtime enter 10 values. Because in the last class, right, we have discussed how to print the value of a variable and printing, right, the variables and string values like that. Here, this is a variable plus strings, right? Both are output. This is a string, output as it is, enter. Then the value of n is replaced. Then the string is output as values. Here, we like to receive the n values using the for loop. For example, for here I declare a variable int I is equal to 0 and initialize I is equal to 0. What is the concept of right defining here the variable I as integer 1 inside the for? Can you recall that? What can you say about this declaration? Int I is equal to 0 inside the for loop. What is the concept there?
Dynamic initialization.
Very good. C++, recall clearly, C++ supports dynamic initialization of variables. But C does not support, C language does not support this concept. So dynamically, right, wherever we require, right, the variable is declared and it may also be initialized. So dynamic declaration as well as initialization. For int I is equal to 0, conventionally, right, I less than n, I a plus plus. Inside the for here, what we have to do, right? We are first getting the inputs. For example, Cn greater than. What is the array name? Array name is X. The ith index is assigned here. The input is assigned to the ith index in the array. Cn greater than X of 5. Even here the for loop, right, involves a single executable statement. So this opening and closing curly braces is not necessary. Inputs are obtained, right? N values are obtained through this for loop. Then after that we find the sum and average. To find the sum, we are using the for loop for again int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What is sum? Sum is already initialized to 0. So the shorthand assignment statement, sum is equal to sum plus x of I. Initial value of sum is 0, 0 plus x of I, right? The first input is 0th input is processed. Then I becomes 1, right? 1, 2, 3, etc. n minus 1. So totally, right, n inputs are processed here. Then we do like to find the average. So to find out the average here, right, we can declare a variable float. Float average is equal to sum. What is sum? Sum is the integer quantity. This will be divided by n. What is n? N represents the integer quantity. So sum division n, integer by integer arithmetic will be carried out. So to support, right, the floating point arithmetic, we need to perform the type casting. So in this example itself, right, I explore what is type casting. Casting the expression, right, into the required type. So left hand side is a floating point 1, right? Either we write float of some division n or some division of float of n. Now what happens? Sum is the integer quantity. Float of sum means this integer is converted into a floating point type. Then this is divided by n. Floating point operation is carried out and the result is assigned to the left hand side float variable. So dynamically we declared average as a floating point variable and initialized it to this expression float of some division n, right? This is a type casting, explicit type casting. Then we like to print the results. See how sum is equal to less than sum is stored in a variable sum less than in a single line, right? We do like to print, for example, average is equal to less than average semicolon. Then finally return 0 or return 1, closing the main function. Let us save the file. For example, I save the file as C example code. I am compiling the code, pressing F9. One error is there, right? Errors 1. We need to rectify that error. What is the error? F9. Multiple declaration for I in function main. Variable I, right, here also declared int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Check if right I has been already declared. For example, here declare a variable j far into j is equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Sum is equal to sum plus x of j. The variable I has already been declared. Now control F9. Enter the value of n, say 5. Enter 5 values: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing enter. Sum is 15. Average is 3. In case if you want to provide the values, suppose n is 3, enter 3 values: 10, 17, 21. Sum is 48. Average is 16. Enter n, 4 values 1, 5, 7, 9. Now we can see sum is 22, average is 5.5. So 22 division 4. 22 division 4 means what happens? 22, the numerator, this is converted into a floating point quantity as 22.0. Then the value right division 4, 22.0 by 4. The evaluation is taken in the floating point mode and the result is assigned to the left hand side the floating point variable. So that the result, right, average becomes 5.5. Clear? Understand or not?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Let us see the next program. Display the alphabets A to Z and capital A to Z with the ASCII values, with their ASCII values. So let us try to print the alphabets with the equivalent ASCII values. Include the header file # include iostream.h, then into main. Check if right some variable declaration is required. For example, we write char. What is char? Character is a data type, right? Similar to a C language. For example, character ch. Using the for loop, for ch is equal to small a, then ch less than or equal to small a to small z. So ch less than or equal to z. Ch plus plus. We do like to print the character as well as ASCII value. So cout less than ch is equal to ch less than 1 horizontal tab /t less than. We need to find the ASCII value. So ASCII of less than ASCII of ch less than then the closing parenthesis, less than. Character, right? We do like to print the character small a. Then the ASCII value, say 97. So to print that, what we have to do, we need to perform the typecasting. Example here, I write int of ch. Int of ch, right? What happens? The character is converted into the equivalent integer 1. Likewise, we can use another for loop. Alt P, copy, Alt P, rich paste, self insure. Character is equal to capital A, character less than or equal to capital Z, ch plus plus. Let us check the code, return 0. Saving the file, cxx4. File is already in use, cxx5. File open, cxx5. F9, the file has been compiled successfully. No compile time errors. No compile time errors. Next, running the program, control F9. What happens? We can find the result here. Ch is equal to a, small a, right? ASCII value of a is 97, right? Or we can put right 1 is equal to closing curly brace, sorry, parenthesis, then put is equal to here. File save, control F9. Now we can find ch is equal to small a, right? Then ASCII value of a is 97. Likewise, small a to z, 97 to 122. Then capital A to z, 65 to 90. So as we expected, the characters and the corresponding ASCII values are printed. Having any queries in this example? This is simply a type casting. You can also try to write this way in C++. Int of ch. Ch is right parenthesized. The data type is integer 1. So the required expression is evaluated and it needs to be converted into the target type integer 1. I have saved the file. Let us check it. Control F9. Now also right, we are getting the same result. So this int of ch, this is same as int within bracket ch. Understand? Having any queries?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Let us see the next example. File new. Let us find the maximum and minimum among three numbers using if then the ternary operator. As we have solved right the same in C language, C++ right also supports the same conditional control concepts. Ternary operator, conditional operator is also supported in a C++. So writing the code hash include iostream.h then writing a main function int main declaring right three numbers right whichever is float or something, say float x comma y comma z. First enter three numbers cout enter three numbers getting the inputs in the variable say x y and z, saying greater than x then double greater than y double greater than z. The inputs are obtained in the variables x y and z. Next we need to apply right the if and the ternary operator. So first part using if statement, checking if to find out the maximum. For example, if x greater than y and x greater than z, then maximum, let it be max is equal to x. Else if when x is maximum, right, x will be greater than y and x will be greater than z. Else, right, there is a chance of right finding the maximum among y and z. So checking if else if y is greater than z, in this situation maximum is y. If these two if right if and else if condition fails, then else max is equal to z. We do like to print right the value of max. So here writing cout less than maximum of less than we do like to print the right maximum of 1 comma 2 comma 3 is so maximum of x then comma then y then comma then less than z less than closing less than max. So maximum of right x comma y comma z, right, a parenthesis is properly right open and closed. So we expect a maximum of 1 comma 2 comma 3 is right 3. This is using the if statement. Second, right, let us try to use the ternary operator. Using the ternary operator, right, we need to design the logic. If x greater than y and x greater than z, max is equal to, we x is greater than y and x is greater than z, then the true block is x. In case the condition fails, then we need to check if y is greater than z. In case the condition is true, then y is the maximum, else z is the maximum. Writing right the same statement here, control C, sorry not control C, right? Copy, edit, control insert, then put shift insert, C out. Finally introduce the statement, return 1 or return 0. Saving the file cxx6.cpp f9. Two errors are there. We need to rectify those errors. Can you predict the errors? Variables x, y, z are declared. The variable max is not declared. So let us try to declare a variable max here. File is saved F2, press F9. One error is reduced. Still we need to find, right, one more error. Statement missing in function main, right? So we need to write to properly check the ternary operator statement. If x is greater than y and x is greater than z, then x is output. True block. In the false block, checking if y is greater than z, then if y is greater than z, y is output. If not, z is output.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I think after x greater than z, there's a question mark.
Yeah, sorry. X greater than y and x greater than z. Question mark. X. Then write this parenthesis. If y greater than z, write y. If not, z is the output. F2, F9, no errors. I am pressing Control F9. Enter three numbers, say 10, 15, 27. Maximum of 10, 15, 27. Right? You can write put colon r is equal to write 27. Yeah, the maximum resides at the third location. So one case is over. Then check Control F9. Enter three numbers 10, 56, 25. Maximum is at the second location. The outcome is okay. Control F9. Let us have the maximum at first location. Maximum is control. In case when all the numbers are equal, 1, 1, 1, maximum is 1. So for all cases, right, we have shown that right the code works fine. So this is the logic of right finding the maximum among three numbers using if statement as well as the ternary operator. Likewise, right, you can try to write a revert to the inequality. The greater than relationship is replaced using the less than operator, right? Then max becomes min. Here also replace greater than with less than, then the minimum amount the numbers are obtained. Understand or not?
Sir, can you explain the ternary statement?
First to say ternary operator. Okay, I thought that right we already learned in C language. No problem. A ternary operator takes this general form expression 1 mark, then expression 2 colon expression 3, This is the general form of the ternary operator. Expression 1 is evaluated first. If expression 1 results in true, control goes to evaluate expression 2. If expression 1 results in false, control goes to evaluate expression 3. So in this case, we have defined the logical condition here. X greater than y is a relational operator, right? A relational expression. X greater than z is another relational expression. These two relational expressions are performed the logical AND operation. So this results in the logical expression. This means when x is greater than y and x is greater than z, when these two conditions are satisfied, the true block statement is X. So in the true block, right, we are not executing any expression. Instead, right, only the variable X. X is assigned to the left hand side variable max. So max is equal to x greater than y and x greater than z question mark x. This means that if the highlighted condition results in true, as we discussed right earlier using this if statement, if x greater than y and x greater than z, then the variable x is assigned to the left hand side variable max. Upon this condition becomes false, when the logical expression, right, x greater than y and x greater than z becomes false, control goes to evaluate expression 3. So in expression 3, what we have done, open, yeah, yes, in expression 3, right, we have checked this part. Simply, right, we have nested the ternary operator inside here in the false block. So in the false block, right, we have tested if y is greater than z further. This else it is tested. If y greater than z is true, then the variable y is output. Else the variable z is the maximum. So upon the condition y greater than z becomes true, then only the variable y is taken. Y is assigned to the left hand side variable max. If the condition y greater than z becomes false, as we have done here, the variable z is assigned to the left hand side variable max. So z will be assigned to the left hand side variable max. This is the working logic of the ternary or conditional operator. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I give you some exercises, right? You try to
Sir,
yes.
sir, can you explain why return equal to 1? Return 1.
Return one good question. So far, right, I used 0. So for difference, right, I use 1 because here the return type is integer 1, right? You can use any integer, return 0, 1, -1, whichever is within the range of integer 1. Save, save, control F9, 0, 0, 12, maximum is 12. There is no issue, right, in this. Return 0 can be used to 1, -1, +1, right, whatever the value. Here, right, you would have seen, right, function name is main. Return type is an integer 1, which means that the function is going to return some integer value to the function. This is not necessary, right? For example, in this code, if I remove, write main, or remove the statement, let me comment out, return -1. F2 is first, F9, no issues. Control F9, enter 3 numbers, 1, 4, 8, maximum is 8. Understand or not? So yeah, conventionally, right, we write the main function right at the end to complete its execution. Significantly, right, we do like to return some integer to the calling place. So you can use right any integer, return 1, 0, anything. Okay. Understand or not? Having any other queries?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay, you try to solve these exercises. 1. Find the maximum and the minimum among n numbers. Second one, find the product of two positive integers without using star operator. Third one, evaluate s is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus etc. plus n. Fourth one, evaluate s is equal to 1 minus 2 into 2 plus 3 into 3 minus 4 into 4 plus etc. up to the first n terms. First n terms. Fifth one, find the minimum and the maximum of 4 numbers using if statement. Second one, using the ternary operator. Now try to solve these exercises. Is it possible? Is it possible or not? So similar to write a top-down C programming, right? What you have to do, you need to include the header file, define a main function within the opening and closing curly brace, define the logic of the program, declare the variables, right? And think of what inputs are required and what you need to print, right? What the logic needs to be print, the required output, and how to implement the logic exactly, right? Using control statement or arrays or normal, right? Basic, simple arithmetic statements, some other, right? Assignment statements, right? So think of that. You can easily solve these exercises. Have any queries, you can ask me. Okay, thank you very much. We will discuss in the next session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.